All right, good evening, everyone. This is the Put the Kids to Bed version of the Sports 2.0 show. I am Rodney Newple. That is Tim Iceman Van Stratton. Good evening, Iceman. How are you?
Another original nickname. I'm doing well, Rodney. Thank you. Thank you for having me on this fine Wednesday. The kids are fast asleep, and let's rock and roll here. Go Hawks!
Let's do it. Let's do our little intro video, and let's get it started right here on the Sports 2.0 network. All right, Rodney and Tim, right here on the Sports 2.0 network, Put the Kids to Bed version. All right, Tim, first of all, I got my rule number one. Back at it.
Oh, no. Remember when I said that there would be instances where I'm definitely going to forget?
That's okay.
I have a bucket of golf balls, if that's any sort of consolation.
Were you out playing today?
No, this is just so I have a putting green in my basement, which is where I do the show. And I like to keep some balls nearby. So the centerpiece of this little table here in the TV area is just a bucket of old, dirty golf balls. Some nice, but some that look like that.
Yeah.
So that's the life I live, Rodney. It's very exciting, very dangerous, fast and loose.
When's the last time you went golfing? Oh, you went on an outing not too long ago.
Yeah, I golfed not last weekend, but the weekend before that. I golfed twice that week. I'm trying to play more often, but also, I don't know if you know this, golf is expensive.
And it's hard.
Well, I mean, hard if you suck, unlike me, who's amazing, the best there ever was. But no, it's expensive to just go and just play around. And it's okay, cool, $60. Come on, man.
It's a rich man's game for sure.
It is a rich man's game. By the way, sorry to interrupt, but the Atlanta Hawks are up by 8 points.
Yeah, that's wild, man.
Is it?
Yeah, it's wild.
Is it?
Yes. I eliminated them on the first day of the playoffs.
Oh, well, if you're saying it's wild that the Atlanta Hawks are even in this position to begin with, yes, it's wild. But I'm more saying because I texted you 2 days ago when we saw that line that Milwaukee was a 8-point favorite, and I was like, that seems kind of ridiculous. So I'm not surprised that the Hawks are playing well. Trae Young has 37 points already, and we're not even in the fourth quarter.
He is making his money this postseason. He's gonna make. I mean, he's making money. He's gonna make a lot of money. But I mean, if there was any doubt when his time is up, he's a max contract guy.
Yeah. Is there any reason why he wouldn't want to be in Atlanta long term? I think they've done a good job of building a nice roster around him.
Yeah, obviously he's got several years before this decision's made, right? I mean, second year.
It's third year. So he's in the same boat as Luka right now, where they're talking about Luka and a supermax deal there in Dallas. So he's not going to turn that down. There's never been a player that turns down that supermax deal, but then it's a matter of when he's after that, and then is a free agent at 27, 28, whatever he would be.
Yeah, because it looks like he's 4 years, $26 million. But yeah, he's making
still his rookie deal, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, the dude is certainly – and I don't know. Was there any question before the postseason that he was going to be a max contract guy? I don't know.
I don't think so. I think that everyone knew, okay, this is a guy who can average 28 a game, can – I think that maybe if there was one question, it's can he be the number one option on a playoff team? I think the answer is yes.
Yeah.
And I really do think that that's a good roster. It's not like he's totally carrying a bunch of crap around him. There's a lot of really good players, a lot of good shooters on that team.
Yeah, and I liked when they got Clint Capella. I thought that was a good move for them. John Collins has always been a solid guy in the post. Their bench is pretty solid. I mean, it's huge names, but it's a solid bench.
And keep in mind, Rodney, do you remember during the offseason when the Bucks had Bogdan Bogdanović, and that was a big move for them, but then it fell through? Where is Bogdan Bogdanović right now?
Yeah, he's in Atlanta.
Again, we looked at that move where it's wow, that's the move that's going to put Milwaukee over the top. That was a huge addition for them. It didn't work out, and now he's with Atlanta. That's a huge move, and he's been a great addition for them.
Yeah, hasn't been great tonight, but he has been really good for them.
He got hurt, I think, in game 5 or 6 of the last series, so he's battling a little bit of an ailment, but he's still a shooter that you absolutely have to account for.
Yeah, and before that, in those Philadelphia, those first 4 games, he had, he had like 21, 14, 19, and 22. So yeah, he was certainly a scorer. But anyway, so that we'll keep you updated on that game. It is 80. I got 86-80, but I'm not quite as live as you are. Atlanta is up on Milwaukee. Still a lot of time left. Minute 50 left to go in the third. We'll keep you updated on that. The hockey game tonight. Tampa Bay scored the first 2 goals. And, I guess here's another thought. How good is Braden Point? I mean, the guy just continues to he scored 14 goals this postseason.
Did he score again tonight?
Yeah, he was the first goal scorer. But I don't know, maybe I'm just off on this, but was he a household name before this postseason?
I mean, depends on what you consider household name. I mean, hockey fans, I think for many years when they thought about the Lightning, they thought about Steven Stamkos.
Yeah, definitely.
And then a couple years ago, the title of best player on the team and face of that team really shifted to Nikita Kucherov. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to go as far to say that it's now Braden Point's team, because if you look, Kucherov's got like 23 points or something ridiculous this postseason because he's just assisting on all of these Braden Point goals. So I think it's still Kucherov is the best guy on that team, but Braden Point has scored in 9 straight postseason games right now.
It's unbelievable.
And yes, he's skating with great players, but you also have to be able to finish. You're scoring against what I believe to be a really good to great defense that the Islanders have. Like at some point, you have to realize that the guy is exceptional. He's an elite player. There's no doubt about that. Yeah.
Anthony Cirelli has an assist and a goal tonight for Tampa Bay. It's 2-1 heading to the third. Islanders will start the third period on a power play. So we'll see. We'll keep you updated on that. We should be close to the end of the NBA and close to the end of the NHL once we get off the show. Yep. Let's go back in NBA real quick. I do want to talk some MLB tonight. Last night.
Yeah, well, I was going to say, as far as last night, it's funny you say that we should be done with the NBA. I mean, based on what we saw last night, we might not be done with this game until we're back on the air Sunday for our next show.
Unbelievable. It's like 30 minutes to play the last minute and a half last night.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Like, that is utterly unacceptable if you're the NBA to have stupid. That. There should be no reason why I can't, with a minute 30 left in the game, leave, watch a 30-minute episode of like Curb Your Enthusiasm, and then return in time to see DeAndre Ayton's game-winning shot at the hoop. That's just not the case.
And how outstanding was the Jay Crowder pass?
Oh, it was great. I mean, we can acknowledge that DeAndre Ayton also committed an offensive foul on the way to the basket and probably goaltended technically since the ball was in the well,
there is no goaltending on an inbounds pass.
Yes, but to answer your question, yes, Jay Crowder's pass was great. It was a great play, good for Phoenix. They're going to win that series. They're going to the NBA Finals. Yip, yip, hooray.
You think though?
Yeah. I mean, the Clippers love being down in this deficit, as we've learned. But there's a difference between having Kawhi Leonard and not having him. And clearly they showed that, Paul George can only take them so far. He had a chance to ice the game, couldn't do it, and made him pay.
And you loved that, didn't you?
I mean, did we not all love it? I mean, were there people, was there anyone who was actually sad that Paul George missed those free throws because Paul George is such a likable guy?
That is very true. That is very true.
Dude left his wife for a stripper. Like, we're like, oh, poor Paul George. Oh, I wish he would have made those free throws. Get out of here with that. Who cares?
My frustration was with and this is the coach in me, the Clippers defense. So that ball's in the deep corner. 0.8 seconds. That inbounder will not get the ball back. He can't get the ball back. He can't pass it in, get it back, catch and shoot in 0.8 seconds. So why are we guarding that guy? Yeah. Why aren't you putting the big giant guy that you put on the ball right at the rim? Now you've got 2 guys protecting the rim. I thought it was poor execution, and maybe next time they'll change that. And Tyronn Lue's an NBA coach for a reason. I think he's a really good coach, actually. But yikes, I did not like that move at all. I think you got to protect the rim there. But anyways, that was my frustration with last night's game. So are you going sweep for Phoenix?
I will go 5. Phoenix
games.
and 5. Yeah.
I do think the Clippers win tomorrow. I think the Clippers bounce back in game 3.
I could see that, but I think that's all they're going to get.
Yeah. And how about campaign?
Can we just talk about something for a second?
Yeah, absolutely.
So there are some guys in the NBA who it doesn't matter what team that they play for or who their coach is or what their situation is. Like LeBron James can play for any coach and he'll put up numbers and that team will, generally speaking, be great, right?
Right.
99% of the league is not that way, and a large part of their career is based off of their situation, who they're playing with, who their coach is, what have you.
Right.
There's no better example of that than Campaign, because Campaign can be a nobody on the Bulls playing under Fred Hoiberg and Jim Boylan. Bad coaches, bad team. His career is derailed. He has 3 separate stints in the G League. He's playing in China last year, Rodney. Just last year, 2020, he was in China before the Suns are like, yeah, we'll bring you on for when we go into the bubble. And then suddenly, Monty Williams, competent head coach, playing under Chris Paul, learning from one of the greatest point guards ever. Yeah. Oh, now he has someone to help him with his game. And suddenly things have just clicked. Like, we can sit here and be like, oh, it's fluky, but like, this happens in the NBA all the time where good players are not so good because of their surrounding circumstances, where other players that we don't really value much are suddenly elevated because of who's around them. And Campaign is a perfect example of that.
Coaching matters.
Yeah.
In that case.
And like people always want to say, oh, coaching doesn't matter in the NBA. It's a superstar league. Coaching doesn't matter for like 4 or 5 guys.
Right.
But it does matter a great deal to everyone else. Ask the Phoenix Suns, who won 19 games 2 years ago. Ask how they feel about Monty Williams. Ask how the Knicks feel about Tom Thibodeau this year compared to where they've been the last 10 years.
And I'm a big Monty Williams fan. Love the story. The guy, he's a calm, cool, collected gentleman man. And I like the guy. And he's probably the reason I'm rooting for Phoenix to win this. Mm-hmm. I think Devin Booker is. I don't know. I'm just okay on him. I mean, I think it'd be nice to see Chris Paul win a championship, but I think Monty Williams is the number one reason why I will root for Phoenix. All right, let's turn our attention to Major League Baseball, because I had a few things I wanted. So tonight I'm going to ask you to give me the lineup of the best Major League Baseball players in 2021. I'm going to give every position. You got to put a defensive lineup out there, obviously, with the best bats in the league. Mm-hmm. And before we get that, Tyler chimes in and he says, Major League Baseball always bet the Tigers.
Man.
A little backstory behind this. I do know Tyler, and Tyler bet the Tigers last week and won. And I'm fairly confident that he bet the Tigers yesterday and today and won as well. So what's going on with my Cardinals? I mean, just atrociously terrible.
I was looking at them earlier today, and if you go back to that, I think since that Saturday game against the Cubs, that really bad game, that awful John Gant start where he couldn't even make it 2 innings, I want to say that they've scored more than 2 runs once. It was in that first half of the doubleheader against the Braves where they scored 9 runs, looked great. Wainwright was great. But everything else has been 1 run, 0 runs, 2 runs. And so, like, people are like, oh, the Cardinals, their starting pitching's hurt. Their starting line is fully healthy. Like, I hope everyone looks at their lineup today. It's a fully healthy lineup that they would have put out on opening day, no problem. They just ain't hitting anything.
Nothing. Paul Goldschmidt, nothing. Nolan Arenado, nothing. Yadier Molina, nothing. Arenado did hit a home run today. I mean, even like Tyler O'Neill's got, a dozen home runs or whatever he's got. But they're a home run or bust team right now. And, I mean, they're in jeopardy of falling out of contention early, if they don't turn things around. Now, fortunately, you and I were talking about this the other day. 86 wins might win the NL Central.
Yes, and to something else that we were talking about, that the Cardinals and I trying to remember if we threw out this stat on the show or if it was just something that you and I had talked about elsewhere, but that the Cardinals this year against the Marlins, the Rockies, the Diamondbacks, and the Pirates, it's a record of 17-1.
Yeah,
which
the
means they are
Tigers in there.
now,
Yeah.
which means they are now 19-37 against everyone else, which is atrocious. But the good news is 3 of those teams are on your schedule next. You got the Rockies, you got the Diamondbacks, you got the Pirates that are your next upcoming opponent. So like, if the Cardinals are not over 500 and in serious consideration for first place by the time we hit July 4th, then you know that there's problems.
Yeah. So Arizona is coming up, and I really kind of thought that they were going to come in next week on Monday with like a 23-game losing streak and beat the Cardinals. But they did win Monday against the Brewers. So they won 5-1 over the Brewers. But I mean, let's talk real, like 30 seconds worth of Arizona Diamondbacks talk here. They are atrociously bad. And why? Just a bad roster, bad.
That's the thing though. Like, I look at them, and with, Ketel Marte and Eduardo Escobar and Pavin Smith, like, I'm like, they are not as bad as their record says they are. Like, clearly their pitching is horrible, and like, it's not a good team, but there are enough good players on there to where I like them a lot more than I like, say, the Tigers lineup or like what the Pirates are trotting out there. Yeah. I just think that it was just a real historically bad, unlucky stretch for the franchise, and it has just crippled their entire season.
Oh yeah, and but they're bound and determined to beat the Cardinals a couple times coming up next week. So
yeah, they'll win that series.
Yeah. Oh, I think so too, especially the way the Cardinals are playing. So real quick, Tyler asked, "Are the Cardinals a good future pick to win the division?" It is wide open. I mean, you can get them at DraftKings for plus 500.
That's not bad. I mean, again, they could be in first place by July 4th if they turn it around against the teams that they've beat up on this year.
It's the same odds as the Reds. It's double the Cubs. Cubs are plus 250, and the Brewers are minus 106 to win the National League Central, which I'm still not sold on Milwaukee winning that division. I know they got 2 studs at the top of their rotation. I'm just not. I'm not. 3 studs. Okay.
Let's give Freddie Peralta his due. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Hey, let's do what we said we were going to do. You're all MLB 2021 team as of like just shy of halftime of the season. we get to the All-Star break coming up, and that's the half. But I want to do it tonight. Your All-Star team, National League, American League, smashed together. The best players. You're trotting out the very best players in 2021. At first base, you are starting who and why?
So at first base, my ultimate all-star pick, if you will, is the incomparable Vladimir Guerrero Jr. He's in the Triple Crown conversation right now, but he is slugging. Not only is he hitting a ton of home runs, but the dude's hitting 340 this year. His OPS is over 1,100. We're starting to see why Vlad Jr. was the unquestioned best hitting prospect in all of baseball just a couple years ago. The kid's only 22, 23 years old still, so he's only going to get better. That's the easy pick for best first baseman in baseball this year.
The big 3 numbers, 340, 23, and 60. That's pretty good.
We can get into all the advanced stats and see how hard he's hitting the ball, but at the end of the day, like, for nerds, it's really freaking good.
Yeah, and then those numbers are for nerds.
Yeah, and that is one of the rules of the show for those that have missed it. Just no nerd stat talk.
Yeah, that you will never hear nerd talk here. Just no. Anyway, second baseman. Your 21-21 second baseman.
So second base is interesting because, like, I'm not going to count Max Muncy since he's not playing primarily second base this year. I will never put Jose Altuve on the team just out of principle. So probably Ozzie Albies. He hasn't been great this year, but I do think Ozzie Albies is in that conversation as one of the better overall second basemen in baseball. He's always been a real underrated player because he plays with Freeman and Acuna. So I'll put Albies in there at second base.
And Atlanta should be better.
Yeah, they should be. Yeah, they're starting pitching. They're missing some guys this year. They're a team that probably makes a second half run, to be honest with you. And also that whole Marcell Ozuna thing kind of wrecked them a little bit.
You're right. You're right about that one. But I'm looking. I mean, Adam Frazier's having a decent year, but he's not the top second baseman.
I'm not going to put Adam Frazier on the all MLB team.
No, definitely not. I'm just throwing some second basemen out there. I would agree with you, Albies. Despite kind of a low batting average, but still driving in 45 guys. I mean, second baseman's fairly weak, to be honest with you. All right, Let's move to shortstop. We'll go around the horn. We'll go shortstop now. Your best shortstop so far in 2021?
It's a great position. Tons of really good players. It's Tatis. He's living up to the hype. I was worried because I said, are we sure that he is going to be the greatest thing since sliced bread, considering he's only played like 120 something games going into this year? And yeah, he's had a couple injuries, but like the guy is just so fun to watch. He does it all. He's got like 23 home runs, double-digit stolen bases. The defense needs some work, sure, but I'll take the time with that and just watch him up to bat every single time. So yeah, Tatis is my shortstop.
Yeah, I like it. 21 home runs, 46 RBIs, hitting 285, having a great year. I mean, second on that list. There's
a couple guys. Bo Bichette's having a really nice year. I've always really been a big fan of Trey Turner.
Yeah.
And we're not even getting to the guys like Seager and Lindor and Correa, who are all going to be the big free agents this offseason, but aren't quite having like that great those great numbers that you're looking for. So I think like these younger guys like Turner and Tatis and Bichette are almost surpassing them at this point.
Xander Bogaerts, another guy having a good year, but he's not a top guy. All right, let's move to third base. Third base, your 2021 all third baseman.
Oh, so this one was tough. I didn't go with Arenado. I hope you understand that. Machado is good. Chris Bryant is interesting, but Chris Bryant doesn't seem like he's actually played a lot of third base this year. I almost consider Chris Bryant more of an outfielder at this point. To me, it was between Rafael Devers and Jose Ramirez. Their stats are pretty similar. Devers has a slight edge, but ultimately when I wrote this out, I gave the edge to Ramirez just because I like his defense a little bit more. So I got Jose Ramirez at third base. He's just a nice, consistent option, and he's been doing his thing now for 5+ years, and he's been great.
Yeah, and I would agree with you there, although I think Justin Turner's close.
Yeah.
I'm not going to put him ahead of Ramirez. I like your Ramirez pick here. And Devers would probably be it's really close between Devers and Ramirez.
Isn't it just stupid how the Dodgers can get Max Muncy, Chris Taylor, Justin Turner, who are all just retread nobodies, and they're all literally all-star high caliber players now.
Yeah. Austin Riley's having a decent year as well at third base.
Yes.
But I think you're right there. All right, let's go catcher. Where are you at with catcher?
I'm really excited about catcher. So I am going against the grain. Everyone thought it was going to be JT Realmuto as the big catcher this year. How about some love for my man Salvador Perez?
Salvi's got 11 home runs, was hitting almost 300 on the year.
Salvi, I got 18 home runs on Salvi.
Really? Okay.
I got 18 home runs. I got 47 RBIs for Salvi.
No, I'm at 11 and 33. So
one of us is wrong, or maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah, I don't know. But, I mean, he's still a good choice. I think Buster Posey's in the conversation again, hitting 331 this year. I was looking at Mike Zunino's number. Have you seen those? He's hitting a $193, but has 14 home runs.
Yeah, tons of home runs. I did think about Yasmani Grandal, the on-base machine, and the Walkzilla on there too, even though he's hitting like $170. And by the way, I think your numbers are off because I went to Salvi's baseball reference page, and 287 average, 18 homers, 47 RBIs.
Yeah, that's not what I have, but good. I mean, then he wins this. I mean,
he's so underrated. His whole career, he's got multiple Gold Gloves. He's got a great offensive bat. He's won a World Series. Is he going to be a Hall of Famer?
I think he might be a Hall of really good.
Like the Hall of very, very good when it's all said and done. Like when you compare his catching numbers at the end of his career to like some other catcher, like I think he's going to be right up there. Dude, I'm serious.
All right, let's go with your 3 outfielders. You can play any outfielder. Doesn't matter their position. They're just strictly outfielders. And a reminder, we've got about 6 minutes left here, so we may be running a little bit. Maybe we'll make a quick exception for like 5 extra minutes tonight. What do you think?
I'm good with that, Rodney. Yeah. I'm good with that. I appreciate your flexibility there.
I really feel like the listeners tonight are really entertained and really enthralled. So let's go 5 extra minutes. We do have a hard rule on 30 minutes, but we're going to throw that out and go about 5 extra minutes.
I also forgot my alcoholic beverage, and that's literally rule number 1 of the show. So here we are.
Changing 3 outfielders
as we go.
Here we go. Who we got?
All right. I have Mike Trout because Mike Trout is Mike Trout. I don't care that he's hurt. He's always going to be the best outfielder in baseball, so that's number 1. And then my 2 other guys, I have Ronald Acuna Jr., who I don't know if you've ever heard of him. He's pretty good.
He's pretty good. Yeah.
And then the third outfielder spot is tough because if I'm just saying like guys I want, period, I would have Juan Soto. But like Juan Soto's not having a very good year.
No, he's not.
So if we're going by who's having a good year this year, I got to show some love for Jesse Winker.
Yeah.
Here I am, and I'm going to say it right now on, what is it, June 23rd? June 23rd, 2021, Jesse Winker is, as of right now, one of the top 3 outfielders in baseball.
Yeah, he is. 333, 17 home runs, 45 RBIs, according to the numbers I have. I don't know if I'm right.
And honestly, you look at his numbers going back to last year and the year before, and while it may not be what he's doing this year, he has always been a very good hitter. And he's only 27 years old. Like, this is not a fluke. He is a very good baseball player. So I'm going to put Jesse in there.
How hot is Kyle Schwarber right now? I mean, he's not a top 3 outfielder, but he's got 19 home runs now.
Yeah, he's got he hit his 19th today in what was a crazy game, that Nats-Phillies game. He's hitting leadoff for them, I believe, right?
Yeah. Yeah, and since he went to leadoff, I think he's hit 10 home runs, which is just insane. Another guy that's kind of been heating up with the power is Adam Duvall. He's got 16 home runs.
Yeah, well, Adam Duvall hit half of those against the Cubs last week.
All right, hey, let's go to your designated hitter. Who is that? Shohei Ohtani?
I mean, I kind of have to, right? Like,
I think you got to.
Like, all respect to JD Martinez and Yordan Alvarez. Like, it's kind of nice that, I can also put Shohei on the mound. Like, yeah. He pitched again today, 6 innings, 1 run, 9 strikeouts against the first place San Francisco Giants. So,
and the funny thing about that is that if you didn't want to go with Shohei Ohtani, who's having one of the best years, you could always fall back to like 42-year-old Nelson Cruz, who's once again hitting 306 with 16 home runs. I mean,
Hall of Famer?
Yeah.
He's a steroid guy, right?
Yeah, he is. But I think he's going to make the Hall of Fame.
Do you really?
I think so. I mean,
I don't know.
Yeah.
Is he
really good?
Is he close to 500 career home runs?
I don't know. I'll look that up here real quick. But let's move to your 3 starting pitchers. You get 3 starting pitchers regardless of what league they're in. Who are they besides Jacob deGrom?
Well, can I clone Jacob deGrom and have 3 of him?
Well, not quite, but
okay. I'm going to go Jacob deGrom as my number 1. Pretty obvious. I'm going to go Garrett Cole as my number 2. Also, I would say pretty obvious.
Yeah.
There are a couple guys that are having really good years. I love the year that Brandon Woodruff has had.
Yep.
Probably, though, if we go by the numbers, I would say Trevor Durant has to be in that conversation.
And if those of you that are just joining us, Tim will never call Trevor Bauer by his name again. He is known by Trevor Durant at all times during the show. I think you're right there.
Yeah.
Let's go to your bullpen. Yeah, go ahead.
I was just saying TD. That's what we call him.
TD. Your bullpen, your 3, you need to get 3 relievers. They can be middle, they can be long, they can be closers.
Let's do the obvious. Let's go Josh Hader.
Yep.
He's really good.
He's good. Yeah.
That's why I like the Brewers. They got 3 aces and a shutdown closer. Isn't that enough to at least get you 86 wins?
You would think in a National League Central. I don't know.
And I have no idea what Christian Yelich is even doing this year. What's he doing?
Not great.
Just wait, though. He'll heat
I was
up.
going to mention Nelson Cruz, 433 career home runs. He's not going to get the 500.
No, I don't think he's going to be a Hall of Famer.
Okay.
Hall of very good, though. Okay, Josh Hader, number 1. My number 2, Craig Kimbrell. Craig Kimbrell's been great this year.
He has been great, and he's really solidified that Cub bullpen. The Cub bullpen's been outstanding. Surprise!
It makes no sense.
No, they have a bunch of weirdos down there, and they just continue to get the job done. But yeah, and then your third starter
my third. Surprising that we don't have any sort of representation on this team from one of the favorites to win the World Series. I think the Chicago White Sox. They've been in first place nearly all year. I'm going to throw Liam Hendricks on there. Check this out, Rodney. 48 strikeouts to 3 walks. That's pretty good.
He's been really good.
Yeah.
He's been really good. Although I think the White Sox is all managing. I think it's the manager.
Yeah, any other manager would totally misuse Liam Hendricks, put him in the 5th inning, maybe use him as an opener. But Tony knows. He's like, you need to close, young man. Yeah. Tony.
I think it is. Carlos Rodon has been very good for the White Sox as well. Tyler mentioned Kevin Gossman, also been very good.
He's been great.
I mean, the three names that you mentioned are just better. They've been better than he has, but Gossman's been terrific.
Yeah, like I'm looking at like ERA. I do look at WHIP. I look at strikeouts to walks, and I know Durant has a little bit more walks than the other two guys, but like just really nasty strikeout stuff. And it's just someone that I feel more confident in for the remainder of the year than I do Kevin Gossman. Although, again, he's been great. Like I have nothing bad to say about Kevin Gossman, especially because he's been on my fantasy team the whole time too.
All right, got about 5 minutes to go here. It is see ya time. Those of you that are joining us, we bid farewell to these individuals, usually in the world of sports. Sometimes we stray far from it. They have been released. They've been traded. They've been injured. They've been just vanished from the face of the earth. Here we go. Tim's see ya time. Let's do it.
I got some weird ones.
Yeah.
I got weird ones this week. This is what happens. So, like, I pack it in with just, like, whatever's in my mind, even if it's not sports. So, I apologize in advance. See ya, Philadelphia 76ers.
Goodbye. Yeah, that was just after the show.
Do you feel bad at all for the Sixers? Because I personally find it all hilarious.
No, Doc Rivers, bye-bye.
See ya, a bunch of homes in Naperville.
Yeah, that sucks.
I was in Naperville last weekend, and literally I left Naperville on Sunday, and then Sunday night, tornado came running through, left a bunch of homes uninhabitable. It's terrible. Not great.
Sorry, Napervilleites.
Naperites?
Sure.
See ya, JT Brown, former Tampa Bay Lightning. He retired, a new color commentator for the Seattle Kraken. So.
Okay, good enough. Good. Congratulations, JT.
See ya, Zaven Collins. Do you have any idea who Zaven Collins is?
Not one clue.
The first round pick by the Arizona Cardinals this year, who was arrested for something or another.
Oh, we got to remember the arrest. This is a good one for you. I hope you get this one. You got it?
I have see ya, Frank Clark next on my list.
Okay, but I got another guy that was arrested. I guess he didn't really get see ya, but what about your boy, Alex Caruso?
No, yes, I should have put Alex Caruso on here.
I don't know what he's seeing from. See ya,
Alex Caruso's clean record. Like,
who would have thought that guy would have been with a bunch of dope in his car? Who would have thought?
And also, there are still states where you can't have weed.
Who knew? I don't know.
Are we still? Seriously? Are there still? That's amazing. Where was it too? Wasn't it like Arizona or something?
Yeah, I think so. Probably at the Suns game. Alex Caruso. All right, wait. Let's move on.
Tells me that his career will bounce back. I just have a hunch.
Yeah.
But no, I don't have Caruso. So thank you for pointing that out. I have see ya, Frank Clark though, who was pulled over, and oh look at that, cops found an Uzi in his car. So that's awesome.
Yeah.
See ya, Bulls and Timberwolves first round picks.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that sucks. Sorry, Bulls.
And T-Wolves.
Both those organizations.
See ya, Joey Lucchesi.
Okay.
On the injured list.
Yeah.
See ya, Max Fried, also on the injured list.
Yeah.
See ya,
another reason Atlanta struggles.
See ya, Aaron Savali.
Yeah.
Cleveland now, all three of their top starting pitchers on the IL. Not great. See ya, Cade Cunningham's career.
yeah, no doubt. Yeah, because he's going to Detroit. Hey, I had tickets to Detroit. I had tickets to Cardinals Tigers today, and I just decided not to go to Detroit.
Just to spare yourself the pain.
Yeah, like I was like, I kind of want to live till Thursday. So I just didn't drive to Detroit today. I really was going to. And if the Cardinals would have been playing any better, like halfway trying, I probably would have went to Detroit today, but I didn't want to die and see bad baseball. So I stayed away from Detroit.
Conspiracy. The NBA felt the heat from people thinking that they were rigging the lottery. So they're like, where's the one place that we could send Cade Cunningham where no one will think that we rigged it? Oh, I know.
Hopefully that doesn't mean see ya Killian Hayes.
No, I think that they would coexist. It might be like a see ya Sadiq Bey or Wayne Ellington. Maybe it's see ya Wayne Ellington. Who
about time. Yeah, because Killian's my guy. All right, let's move on.
See ya Marcus Stroman. He got hurt again for something.
Yeah, always. He's hurt a lot.
See ya Peoria Labor Day Parade.
Yeah, sorry guys. It's gone.
See ya Max Scherzer's belt. Oh, he took off his belt.
Just took it off. I'm done. I'm taking all my clothes off.
See ya Sergio Romo's pants.
Yep, done. Taking them off.
See ya Pat Foley.
Yeah, well, if Tyler's still listening, that'll hurt him. I know he's a big Blackhawks guy. But my question today is: Do you think most Blackhawks fans, even know who Pat Foley is? I mean,
No,
they haven't heard him in at least like 5 years.
I think they just assume that it's Doc Emmerich on all of their games
Yeah.
because they only watch when it's the postseason, and you know that like the NBC is going to have all those games. So no, they probably have no idea who Pat Foley is. But I will miss big save Crawford.
Safe! Yeah, I like that. One more year.
And then last one earlier today. So I apologize if there's been any others that I've missed recently. But see a Rockies assistant general manager Zach Wilson.
Yeah, that still has to do with Arenado, doesn't it?
Yeah, something tells me that Rockies organization is not the most stable.
No. Hey, so I have 105, 103 Bucks lead the Hawks with 3 minutes to go. And I have 2-2 now, Lightning Islanders with 5 minutes to go. So it's time to turn on. I know you're mind blown. Woo! 5 minutes to go. 5 minutes to go.
Hawks just need to keep it within 8. Then I'm good because I was literally like, "There's no way the Bucks covers an 8-point thing." I was like, "It's not happening."
I just need Milwaukee to win. Period. Because DraftKings gave me free money, so I went ahead and did it. All right, hey man, we're way overdue. We're out. We got to get out of here. Thanks, Tim, for joining me. This is the Put the Kids to Bed version of the 2.0 network. I'm Rodney Newple. That is Tim the Iceman Van Stratton. So long for just a while. We'll see you on. We hope we see you on Sunday night. Tim might be on the IR. We'll talk a little bit about that later. We don't need to talk about that, do we?
I mean, we can if you want. I know we went over. Do you want to just say it?
No.
Okay.
I just hope you're here Sunday.
Keep the mystery. That's fine. You'll know one way or another Sunday night.
Yep. All right. We'll talk to you later. See you, Tim.